So today Exodus 14, 1 to the end. So it's 1 to 31. It talks about how the Egyptians hardened their heart, or the Lord hardened their heart, and they pursued the Israelites, and how God told Moses to part the Red Sea, and the people walked over, and the water covered the Egyptians. So some interesting things is so they pursued them and they overtook them. The people cried out against God. And then Moses said, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still." And then God said that he will harden the heart of the Egyptians so that they will go in after them. But then right there, the angel of God who has been traveling in front withdrew and went behind them. So now one side is dark, and the cloud that separate them. So the one side is darkness and the other side is light, and so they didn't go near each other. And this happened all night long. In movies and stuff we see, it's like instantaneous, but this is actually a process. And then after that, it said, all that night the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind and turned it into dry land. The water were divided, and so it took them a long time, like the whole night, for the Israelites to go through the sea on dry ground with a wall of water on their right and on their left. And then, so afterward, I guess as the cloud moved, the Egyptian pursued them. So they pursued into the sea, and then the Lord looked down from the pillar of fire and cloud. So like, I guess one side the cloud was the darkness and the fire was the light. And then it threw the Egyptian army into confusion. And this verse, it was removed for some reason. Maybe it was a note by a scribe or something. And then the Lord said, so then the last watch of that night, then the Egyptian army was in confusion. And then I guess at this time, all the Israelites already went over to the sea. And then the Lord said, stretch out your hand over so that the water may flow back. And at daybreak, the sea went back to its place. And the Egyptian, it said towards it, but the note said from it. So they were trying to flee, but they already they were swept in, the water flowed back. So there's really nowhere that they could have flee from. The water flowed back and covered the entire army. So then that day the Lord saved Israel from the Egyptians, and I guess the bodies of the Egyptians were swept to the shore. Right here, I'm not sure. I think it's just to emphasize that they already went through the sea, so they weren't swept by it. But so I can envision kind of like a divider, and as the people moved, the divider the pillar of cloud and fire move with them, and so the Egyptian pursue them, but then can't really get close to the Israelites. Like they can't get close, but they're pursuing them, and as the Israelite leaves, then the whole army is already in the sea pretty much, and so water then covered them back, and then their body swept ashore. And so that's what I understand from reading this. And so the people feared the Lord and put their trust in him and in Moses his servant. So they were quick to like get frustrated. Like they even said, is there not enough grave in Egypt that you brought us here to die? So they're despite what they see, their hearts were hard. They're easily swayed to go back to their old way. They're easily swayed to murmur and groan. So it's kind of unfortunate that God had to deal with people like that. And I want to be someone who have trust in the Lord and who knows that he is higher than any circumstance that I might face. And it says right here, not one of them survived. And I actually was watching a YouTube on like the Armenian letters and how it kind of fit into the time of Israel conquest, and how people were petitioning to the Pharaoh and there was no response. So it would make sense that if Pharaoh and his huge army, his best army pretty much, got swept away, that there would be no response from him to those petition letters. So it was kind of like interesting to note that.